Is live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 188, and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay, so with that, quickly let's look at how the auction will develop today. So let me just quickly share my screen. So first of all, let me just move to the daily chart, and from the daily chart, what we are seeing is we are just doing one time framing higher, and there are some anomalies like the gaps. 2 days we are having gap up opening, the gap is not getting filled, so there are multiple anomalies happening. But overall, if I look at the entire auction path, what I'm seeing is this is where it is trying to head through. Okay, this is the level of resistance, and today I'll be actually looking at what's happening around the high, whether we are seeing continuation to the upside or not. Okay, so let me do one thing. Yeah. So let me just jump to the volume profile chart. So this is the so first of all, I had to uninstall Ninja Trader and have to add all the other indicators, and also there was a major update by Bell TPO with this new updated some fast version, S version or F version. So what I'm seeing is we have some sort of balancing activity here. So let me just add this data points. Okay. So we have got one more balance here, and that's where actually, so if you see, this is where sellers came in, and auction is just now developing sideways. So this is the auction which happened yesterday. Today, what I'm expecting is, so this is also one more balance. So this is one more balance, and I think we are overlapping. So let me do one thing. Let me add the data points. Yeah, I'll just add the data points. Okay. So I'll be considering this as a 2-day balance, and based on that, I'll be taking the trades. We have this gap around the high, which is still intact. So this is that gap. I think we will look in detail, around the using the market profile chart. Okay. So okay. So now what we see is, so let me first explain you the what is the overall context. Okay. So if you see this entire day, so this was a balance. Then it was a break above the look above the balance, and we are just developing sideways. So this is 1 day to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 days. On the 6 days where the auction tried to move down, and there is one more balance formed around the lower side, and now the auction is slowly and steadily trying to come up higher. Okay. So some of the important reference which I was looking at was first of all this PPOC. That's where sellers came in. Second thing is the high is also weaker. This high is weaker because it's pretty close by to the high of the 18th of September. Okay. Uh, Third anomaly is we have one more gap here. We have our poor highs. There are a couple of gaps around the lows. Uh, so overall, the auction which is developing, I'm not at all confident. So I have not traded. I think last week I just did one trade, and this week I haven't taken any trades yet. So a lot of buying activity is seen. A lot of push up is seen. Is what I'm getting feeling. And this all buying, I don't know why these are all weak buying happenings, and what is the actual reason, I'm not clear. So some of the references which I'll be looking for is the yesterday's high. yesterday's low, and yeah, and I think these are the two references. So I think let's wait for the market to open, and based on that, I'll be taking the trades. But anticipation is what I'm anticipating is the low to be tagged and go down. Okay, that is what my trade plan is. So currently, what we see is the auction opened around the yesterday's high, and now it is trying to do some sort of stop hunting. So let's also mark that reference. So this is the reference zone. So the auction development path which I'm expecting is to see some sort of exhaustion and then try to come down, fill this gap, fill the lower anomalies, and there is one more gap. So I'm expecting a strong selling pressure coming in today. Okay, we have got one more G2 high here. We have a single print here, and if you see exactly that is where. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you see exactly around the high, so if you see today's high is around the single print zone. Okay, so waiting for sellers to step in and take the auction lower. So let me minimize this chart. Okay, so these are the two references. Auction is opened around the value area high, and so I'm expecting it to touch the VPOC and then the value area low. Okay, so let me see from the VSA. There is an HVN on the upper side. There is one more HVN here, and yeah, the overall delta is positive, and expecting it to tag higher. But I'm not looking to take a long position. Let's just look at the order flow chart. So stacked momentum buying seen. Auction is right now below VWAP. 4,000 contracts already traded. We are still uh, uh, 2 minutes into the auction. So I'm expecting it. So today my action or trade plan is to, if the low is getting tagged, there should be it should be getting tagged the anomalies which are developed yesterday, and also the small gap. Okay, so I'll be waiting for the low to be broken. We also have one more called G2 high. So odds are higher that this might also get tagged. So let the market chop, let it develop more. If it's spending more time here, and if it drops, that's a good signal, or that's a good hint that sellers are just accumulating their positions, selling positions, and then you can take a short position. Yeah, so that's the overall action plan which I have for today. And I got a couple of meetings again from 9:30. So today's session also I'll be keeping it a bit brief. Yeah, good morning, Sarat. Good morning. Sorry, I was not able to, address your comment. Okay. Good morning. So the next meeting which I have is at 9:30, 9:30, then 10, then 11. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So in next, I think 5 minutes, I'll be ending the session today. So I'm just observing the auction. It's right now just trading around the high of yesterday. The auction is above that, indicating good. So the auction opened within yesterday's range. Buyers are showing strength. 6,000 contracts already traded. That's a good sign. Okay, so the auction is closed. Let me just increase and let's look at the numbers. Okay, why are numbers not getting bigger? But basically, we have got 133 trapped buyers, 127 trapped sellers. Looking at the order flow chart, 7,000 contracts already traded. Let's see how big the volume is now. So buyers stepping in again. Yeah, here, let me look at the 1 minute chart. So I'm now using 1 minute chart. There's some issue with the volume charts, which I had. So I'm just experimenting with this, but overall the delta is positive. So auction is now entered within yesterday's range. So expect the low to be tagged and to clear. So if you see from the price action perspective here, this was where the last point where buyers were exhausted. The low is tagged. Now we are seeing continue. So we should see continuation to the downside and see some sort of reversal, around this level, 11,544. Some settings which I might have fiddled with. So anomaly from the order flow chart, sellers are getting rejected. Here it is closed below VWAP, some sort of excess seen, and this is where sellers stepped in. Again, we are entering in the same zone. The delta is flat, so I'm expecting some sort of reversal. Now this auction actually halted around this single print zone, and now it is reversing. You can see the low of today is around this single print zone, and the sellers are getting exhausted around the lows. Delta is positive, but there is a divergence seen. So good wick here. That's good excess, sort of an excess. First 1 minute candle. Sellers are pretty strong now, so I'm expecting the high to be tagged. Wait for this candle to be closed. I think it will close in next 1 minute. A doji indecisive candle is getting formed. So this is the zone which I have. If it goes below this level, you can take a short position. If it goes above this level, then you can take a long position. For short position, the target will be the value area high or the half back or the value area low. Okay, so the low is getting tagged now. Good opportunity to take a short position. Delta has turned negative. So sellers stepping in. The delta is now dropping. Okay, guys, I have got meetings lined up in next 5 minutes. So with that, I would like to end today's session and just observe how the auction develops, and based on that, please take the trades. Yeah. So with that, ending the session for today, and let's catch up tomorrow and see how the auction develops. Take care and bye for now.